this is my channel, Thane's Thoughts. I'm talking a little bit lower, and I hope the camera, my phone at least, is going to pick me up. It is pretty late at night. I'm kind of a night owl, so it is after 1 in the morning. My husband already fell asleep, so I'm trying to keep it down because I tend to get a little loud. So if you're going to need to up the volume for this part of my wrap-up, I apologize. This is my April wrap-up. So April's been kind of a slumpy month for me. Like, I'm not totally in a reading slump, but reading anything I just felt like has been a chore. I've barely been able to pick up anything physical besides some manga that I'm going to go over, and I've just been really struggling in my reading life. I think I'm on the upswing. I think I'm starting slowly to get out of it, so hopefully that trend will continue. I've just really kind of been focusing on mood reading. There's been a couple of book club reads that I've had to pick up that I managed to and worked through. And then manga. I've been participating in 30 mangas in 30 days. That's being hosted over on Instagram with Tamika from Library of Tomes, Shay from Shay Geek Out, and Happy For Now Books Izzy. I didn't do a TBR this month, but I did do a wrap-up, and I mentioned them in my March wrap-up of me joining that particular readathon, and that's been kind of fun, actually. I've been really enjoying reading manga. It's not a format I've read a lot of, so I've been really enjoying that journey for myself. And I've actually have found really things that I've enjoyed and things that I've really liked. The end of April hasn't happened yet. I probably am going to be able to finish a few more mangas, so I'm going to start with the manga. And I'm mostly going to talk about, I'm not going to talk about each specific volume because I have read a few series. I'm going to talk specifically about the series and not each specific volume. So it just makes it a lot easier because the volumes kind of all run together when it's a series. So that's the way that I'm going to do it. But I will point out another volume if they got a higher score or a higher rating for whatever, if that's the case for some of these. And then I do have read a few novels, and so I'll go over those as well. I've been reading a lot of manga, and that's been a lot of fun. So most of the manga I've been reading is what I guess is being learning new terms. Look at me in my 30s learning new things. The technical term is shoujo, so that is when it is more geared towards women or girls, where it's like a certain type of art style, and usually a romance is centered around the plot. The other one, the more male one, is I forget. I was more interested in romance, and most of the romances are shoujo. That's what I focused on. That's what I ended up reading. And a few of these I read on Kindle Unlimited too, and I'll tell you which one those are as well. So for the first one I read was My Boyfriend in Orange, and I'm probably going to butcher this name, so I'm going to try to do it my best, by Non Tamishima. This was the first 6 volumes are on Kindle Unlimited. This particular series was about Mo and Kyosuke. This is a high school student and a firefighter. So there's an age gap romance here because he's a working fireman and she's a high school student. And this one was kind of insta-lovey. Mo, he saves her in a fire situation, and then she starts to form an attachment from there, but then also he continues to save her throughout the series. And their first immediate connection, it's very insta-love. She's very obsessed with him. And I just kind of got that impression like throughout the rest of the books. It's very insta-love, which is fine, but like I didn't really feel a connection between the two of them, and I didn't really get a sense of who he was as a character at all. Like, he's very mysterious, and that's supposed to be more appealing, but instead it just made him just kind of like boring. Like, I don't know, I didn't really get his whole thing. Maybe more of the books go into that, but the first 6 volumes I was hoping we'd get a little bit more from him, and it started kind of doing that more towards like volume 5 and 6, but not really enough for me to continue on with the series or purchase a series. So I rated it was mostly between a 3-star and a 3.5 star. Most of these volumes for me were lying in between there because Mo was very sweet, but I also found her really naive and kind of silly at times. And again, Kyosuke, he was just totally kept pushing her away, and I was like, it's because you don't like her? Because you do. I can't even really tell. I don't know. It was okay. It was a cute series. The art was really cute. The characters are sweet. I liked the banter between the firemen. I thought they were really funny and really very, some of the guy friends surrounding them was really, they had really great banter. So that's always fun. But I didn't really love it. I don't know. I wanted a little bit more from the characters from this one. So the next ones I ended up reading are ones that I actually picked up physically because I couldn't get these on KU. I didn't really want to buy them on Kindle. I figured I wanted to own them physically. And also these were ones that I was really, really interested and invested in, was really excited about when I had them recommended to me. I ended up reading Cutie and the Beast, Volume 1. It's Volume 1, Cutie and the Beast. And then it's by Yuhi Azumi. And then Cutie and the Beast, Volume 2. I love this cover. I thought this cover was really cute. So this particular series is about Momoka and Kuga. And Momoka is a high school 18. She's a high school student. And Kuga is a pro wrestler. He's in his, I want to say, 30s. So it's an age gap romance. But their connection is so cute and so much more genuine. He always plays like the bad guy in pro wrestling. If you need to know the technical term, it's heel, and it mentions heel in Volume 2. My husband has taught me well in the pro wrestling terms, so I knew exactly what that meant. So he always plays the bad guy, but she loves his character so much, and she always roots for him, and not many people root for the heel. So he really responds really well to that, but then at the same time, he's actually really sweet and is somewhat of a cinnamon roll. So the fact that like she roots for him and cheers for him even though he's technically the bad guy, and he's just drawn to that because no one cheers for him and no one supports him. Like, she's been really supportive of his career, and then they meet in person and just have like a really cute moment. So I really, really liked this series a lot. Volume 1 I gave 5 stars, and Volume 2 I gave 4 stars, only because it focused a lot more on getting her parents' permission, which is fine. It was really sweet, but not enough of the two of them. And I wanted more of that. So that's why I ended up rating that one 4 stars for me. Next, I read ebooks. This was The Wolf Boy Is Mine by Yoko Nojiri. This was also on Kindle Unlimited, and all 4 volumes are on Kindle Unlimited. This particular series is about Komuji, and Yu. They're all in high school. All the characters are in high school. She's a girl while he's a wolf. He's like a shapeshifter, essentially. And she finds out about all of his friends being shapeshifters. One turns into a cat, one turns into a fox, and one turns into something that's similar to a raccoon. This was really sweet and really cute. The first volume was okay, and then it kind of got better with volumes, but then I feel like the storyline was rushed really abruptly, and series ended really quickly right when it was really start to build. And so when things kind of wrapped up really quickly, it kind of didn't seem very fully developed. You kept pushing her away for very silly reasons. I didn't understand why, but she had no chemistry with this guy, like none, like whatsoever. I didn't really get why she was into him or why he would be into her, and then his feelings really changed really quickly. I don't know, I just kind of felt like I didn't really get the connection with the characters. And then there was sort of a love triangle with his friend Rin, who turns into the fox. I really liked him. I thought their chemistry was really good. What I really liked about it was the artist brought in a lot of mythology of like animal shifters and Japanese folklore, and I thought that was really interesting, but it just didn't go far enough, and the story wasn't paced very well, so it just kind of fell flat for me. It needed more volumes or less of a story and less volumes. I'm not sure what it needed, but it just didn't, it was okay. I rated it, most of the volumes I rated 3 to 3.5 stars. I feel like Rin the fox deserved better. I wanted his own romance, and I wanted his own storyline. And there was a great side story about Senri, who turns into the cat, I mean, obviously he turns into a cat, so you would figure he's kind of an oddball, kind of an odd character and standoffish, which he is. But there was a whole side story you got about him in the 4th volume that was really interesting, but I wish that was able to be incorporated into the main story for me. I still would enjoy it. Again, the art was really good. but I don't know, story-wise, pacing-wise, and chemistry-wise with the characters, there was something missing for me in those aspects. Next, oh my god, I'm so excited about this series. So I'm only going to show you volume 1. This is Sweat and Soap, and this is by Kintetsu Yamada. I read volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Volume 2 I had to do an ebook because I literally could find volume 2 nowhere. But I was able to get volume 1 physically and volume 3 and 4 physically. And then I'm probably going to pick up volume 5, but probably later this week. So this is volume 1. This whole series is about Asako and Kotaro Natori. They both work in the same company. Asako works in the financial department, and Kotaro works as a product designer, and he's a smell expert. Like, sense of smell is very, very heightened. And they work at a company that, like, basically produces beauty products, makeup, lotions, soaps, that kind of thing. She really admires the soap. She loves their company's soap, and he designs a lot of the soap. Asako is very insecure because she sweats a lot. She's perspires very profusely, so she always has to, she goes to the bathroom at lunchtime to like wipe herself down because she's so self-conscious of how much she sweats. Kotaro catches her scent at work, like in the lobby or wherever, and he's like, "You smell amazing. I need to smell you all the time." Which is just kind of a weird premise, I'm not gonna lie. I think the smelling aspect is a little bit too much emphasized in volume 1 for me, so I rated it 4 stars, but like their connection, Osako is just such a sweet character. She's never had a boyfriend. She's never like had someone interested in her, and he just like kind of just is like infatuated with her, and it's really cute. But the scent thing was a little bit too much for me in this particular volume. However, volume 2, 3, and 4 I absolutely loved, and I rated it 5 stars because volume 2, 3, and 4 really emphasizes like the slow build of their chemistry, the slow build of their relationship. It's just really genuine, and they're really like falling in love with each other. It's a nice, really slow build of their relationship together. They communicate together really lovely. And the scent thing is still a part of it, but it's less creepy. It's really enjoyable, and I've really, really enjoyed volume 2, 3, and 4. It's definitely one that I want to keep up with and keep reading. It's so, so sweet. They are so, so sweet. I love them so much. And this has definitely been one of my favorite mangas that I've read for this month. Also, forewarning, most of shoujo's a lot of these are very PG, not even really PG-13, but this one does have some sex scenes and light nudity, FYI, just so you know. You might not safe for work, probably not something that you want to bring or read in front of your parents or anything like that. Next is another physical copy that I picked up, and that was A Sign of Affection, and this is by Su Morishita. And this is volume 1. This is the only one that I was able to pick up physically. I think there's some chapters on Kindle Unlimited, but not the first book, and I don't think half of the second. So I was only able to pick up the first volume. This is about Yuki and Itsuomi. They're college students, and Yuki is a freshman, and she is deaf, and she uses sign language to communicate. And Itsuomi he's kind of a little bit older, a little bit more mature, and he is a traveler. He likes to go vacation and go travel any chance and any break that he can get. And Yuki's really drawn to that and thinks that he's like very worldly. And she reads as very naive, but also very, very sweet and genuine, and I really like that for her. I love the incorporation of the sign language. I love the incorporation of her deafness. I really enjoyed Yuki. I'm not so sure about Itsuomi. I'm not so sure what he feels for Yuki. Like, it's kind of a little bit uncertain right now, so I'd have to really get volume 2 to kind of figure that out. But I really, really enjoyed Yuki so much, and the deaf representation that I made it at 4 stars. So it was just really sweet. Also, the art is also very gorgeous in this, and incorporating sign language is really difficult. Of course, it incorporates Japanese sign language. That was really interesting to see. Not a sign language I'm familiar with. I had a friend that learned a little bit, so I knew a little bit, but not to this extent, but a lot of the rules are very similar, and Yuki's very expressive, and that's very common with a lot of deaf cultures and sign languages in general, is that having a very expressive face, because that usually is grammar for sign language. So seeing that was really great. So yeah, and there's like tips and things about deaf culture and sign language in general in the book. So the authors really tried to consider that when writing and doing the art for this. So it was really lovely, and I really enjoyed it. And next is ebooks. I've been reading 10 volumes of Waiting for Spring, and this is by Anushin. This is about Mizuki, who is a high school student, and 4 high school elite basketball players who she accidentally befriends. And there's 4, and they're considered like the elite because they're really talented, but also they're like the hot guys. All the girls like fawn over them. And she accidentally befriends them. I didn't quite love the first volume because they kind of play a prank on her, and it's kind of mean-spirited. I didn't think it was very funny. They kind of did that for the first 2 books, and I wasn't really a fan. But after that, they seem to really like form a friendship with her and really support her and care about her. So it kind of turns around and gets a little bit better in some of the other volumes. She's a shy girl who doesn't really know how to make friends, so her accidentally making friends with these boys who show up at her work where she works at a cafe. And that's how it kind of starts from there. She especially starts developing a friendship with Toma, and kind of getting a more romantic connection with Toma, who's one of the boys. This also is kind of a love triangle, so she also has a friend named Aya-chan, and Aya-chan is a childhood friend of hers who she always assumed was a girl, moves to America, and then Mitsuki meets him again and realizes, oh, he's actually a boy. Why didn't you tell me you were a boy the whole time? And at first I thought, I was like, is this a transgender character? Like, would he start as a girl and then, decide to be transgender male? I was kind of thinking that was what would happen. But no, he legit, like, just tricked her. Like, I was kind of, like, confused by that whole plot premise. And so there's a love triangle kind of going on between them right now. And by volume 10, it still hasn't quite resolved yet. But I think it's pretty obvious about how it's going to go. But I like Aya-chan a little bit. I kind of like him, but I kind of don't. And there's just a really sweet build-up. It's kind of more of a slow burn. The pacing's a little bit slower. I also kind of feel like Toma is maybe demisexual. Like, he doesn't really pay attention to any other girls, but he forms a really emotional, genuine connection with Mizuki, and it kind of starts off his feelings from there. I mean, I don't know if that's canon, but that was kind of the way he talks about her was kind of my perspective of, oh, I wonder if he's demisexual. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to speak on that. The volumes so far, I would say volume 1 was more of like a 3.5. Volume 2 through 6 was 4 stars for me. Volume 7 was 5-star because there was a really great moment in volume 7 that I really enjoyed. And then volumes 8, 9, and 10 has been 4-star again, mostly. 10 was more of a 4.5. It's just been that's been a really fun series to read, and I really enjoyed it. And now I'm finishing, and those 10 volumes are on Kindle Unlimited. There's 4 volumes left of the series. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with myself. I kind of want to read the last 4, but I also don't really want to buy them. I kind of really want to know how this ends because I really, really like all the characters. The other 3 basketball players, I really want to see what their stories are, and also, obviously, Mizuki and Toma, I want to see how their story ends too. And Aya-chan. I didn't think I was going to like that one. I don't know why. Maybe because it sounded similar to My Boyfriend in Orange and The Wolf is Mine, which I didn't like as much, but this one I've liked a lot more. And I just think the pacing's better with it, and the story is just more interesting, and the build-up is better between the characters in this particular one. So far, that is 27 mangas. So that means I have 3 left. That's very exciting. It is actually April 27th today, so I should be able to and I have 2 more physical ones that I haven't read yet, so I should be able to finish this and do 30 mangas in 30 days. That's very exciting for me, and I really, really appreciate Izzy and Shay and Tamika for doing this challenge. It's been a lot of fun, and it's been a great journey for me, so yay! So I'm going to come back and do the rest of my wrap up for these mangas. So I'll be back. And I'm back. So with a very different haircut and in a different location. I'm out of town filming this, so just wanted to finish my wrap up and hopefully post it a day late. So I'm talking about the last 3 mangas I've read for the 30-day challenge. I ended up reading, as you could tell in some of the text that I included on this video, that I ended up finishing volume 5 of Sweat and Soap, which I have already talked about. Loved volume 5 as well. Sweat and Soap is adorable. Love it, love it, love it. And the other 2 mangas I ended up reading were volume 1 and 2 of A Silent Voice. I do not have volume 1 and 2 with me, so you're seeing volume 3. But A Silent Voice is about a deaf girl student and a young boy student who he ends up bullying her for being deaf, and he bullies her when they're in, I want to say 4th or 5th grade, and then they meet again in high school and reconnect, and things ensue from there. I want to say this is probably not like the shoujos that I've been reading, and I thought this might be going to more of a romance territory, but I don't think it's going in that direction, which is fine. Just wasn't what I was entirely expecting when I heard this, but I also really like seeing the deaf representation as well as there's sign language included, and so I'm interested to see where it goes. It's a little bit darker in tone, but I obviously have volume 3, and there's 7 volumes, and I've already purchased all of them. So I'm kind of interested to see where the rest of it goes. So I think I rated them, I want to say I rated volume 1 and 2 probably between 3 and 3.5 stars. So for my wrap up, at least for my manga, I have read 30. I did accomplish 30. Not gonna lie, I did finish Sweat and Soap a little bit after midnight, but I am still counting it because I still read 30, and I started late on my challenge anyway, so still counts. 21 of them ended up being ebooks. I read as ebooks, and 9 of them I read as physical books that I had actually went out and purchased. As far as how many star ratings I have, I would say I have 13 3 stars, 11 4 stars, and 6 5 stars. So I think that's a pretty good reading month, especially for reading manga, which is not something that I read very often. I consider that a success. I had a really great time with this challenge and reading something very different in a different style that I wasn't used to. So new experiences, reading new things, very exciting. And now I'm kind of into it. I'm thinking I'm checking out some more manga for sure. I'm definitely going to keep up with some of the series that I started. So that is it for my manga wrap up today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw and want to see more bookish things from me, please subscribe and hit likes and bells. I'd really appreciate it. As well as you can comment down below if you read manga, what your favorite manga series was, and or if you're interested in reading any of the ones that I've read this month, or if you've read them already, I would love to know. All of my social medias are down below, so if you want to follow me on all the things, you can do that as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!